What's going on, guys? JBB2 here. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. And for today's gameplay, we have an Adventures Pranks versus a branded Despia, with me as the prankster going first. Now, with my current hand, I have the full adventure plus the prank kids combo. But if you guys are new to Master Duel or the adventure engine in general, or new to the gameplay or my videos, a quick tip I can give you guys is that always, okay, no matter which part of the adventure engine you have in your hand, use it to bait out your opponent's hand traps. By hand traps, I mean Ash Blossom, Maxi, Baylor, sometimes even Imperm if their opponent does not know what they're doing. So let's take, for example, in this scenario, I had Right in my hand. Right is basically full faithful adventure engine. Right activation to which your opponent can maxi you, right? That means if you cannot negate your opponent's maxi, you do not go into your Prankets combo. You just search for your Griffin, go into Griffin on your opponent's turn, get your auto negate set up on the field that way. Another thing is the Enchantress. Enchantress being a really good Ash Blossom bait, right? Another thing is the Faithful Adventure. Faithful Adventure can be a really good Ash Blossom bait as well, because if you search for your Griffin on the beginning, your opponent can assume maybe you have the full Faithful Adventure combo in your hand with the right or Enchantress, and maybe Ash Blossom the Faithful Adventure search. Also, it can chain block your first graveyard activation as well, so a really good thing. So keep that in mind. Always try to bait out your opponent's hand traps first before committing your normal summon of Prank Kids, because Prank Kids heavily rely on their normal summon and their first activation in their graveyard. Otherwise, you can play around it if you have the right cards in your hand. Let's say you have another named Prank Kids in your hand, plus a Prank Kids Pranks or Pandemonium in your hand, then you can play around with it, but otherwise, you generally can't. Now, the reason why I paused my video right here is because I did a misplay right here. I'll show you guys really quickly. With the doodle-doo search, I did search for pranks, but with the Fancies discard, I was supposed to pitch a copy of Pandemonium. Instead, I ended up pitching Dropsies. Now, sometimes this happens when I'm going through my chat log. I'm not blaming my chat on Twitch, but sometimes I do make mistakes like these. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just that you have to go into your Butler through your Predaplants effect, and you will be able to dump a Thunder Dragon Fusion into graveyard. The biggest drawback for that is that your Butler will be on the field before your opponent's turn comes up. So if they Dark Ruler no more you or Imperm you, your Butler's gone. And in this specific scenario, you guys will see I was talking to my Twitch chat, hoping that this misplay would not cost me the game or would not punish me as heavily as I thought. But you guys will see I get punished for it really badly. So we go into our Predaplan Verte. Now, some people do make this play, even though they search for Pandemonium and Pranks. Some people do the play this way because they're afraid they cannot push past a Call by the Grave, right? Call by the Grave being another big weakness for Prank Kids. If your opponent Call by the Grave is your Bow Bark, you cannot go into your Butler combo afterwards. So some people prefer to do it this way, but again, it leaves you open to a bunch of spells and trap that can negate out your Butler. But the cool part about this is that you do end up dumping your Thunder Dragon Fusion in the graveyard, so that way in your next turn, you can search for your copy of Corridor. Corridor will recycle out the Meowmoo that you use on your Butler's first activation as a banish to pop your opponent's field, and that way go into your combo again. So that's a plus, a pro, compared to the cons towards, doing your combo the other way. So with that, I end my turn, activate Pranks, recycle out 3 cards, and draw into another evenly match. With that, my opponent draws a card and instantly proceeds to Super Poly me. Now, Super Poly, this is going in standby phase, mind you, it is not the main phase. Super Poly is already a busted card, let's be honest, and it's more busted versus Prank Kids, because both your Butler and your Griffin are wind monsters, okay? They're both wind attributive monsters. And your opponent can just take away those 2 cards, go into Mud Dragon. Mud Dragon requires you to have 2 same attributive monsters that should be tributed for its summon. So it pitches a Tragedy from his hand, goes into Mud Dragon. Mud Dragon takes away both Butler and my Omni Negate. Really, really bad thing. It did come to bite me pretty hard, that misplay that I just did. But um I would say not good part, but one of the better part for this misplay is that I could still activate Butler in the graveyard. Now, Butler's floating effect states that if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one non-fusion monster in the graveyard, special that card on the field. And what better monster to target than having your Omni Negate back online? So with that, I target the Griffin, put it back on the field. Now keep in mind, we have not used the Griffin Omni this turn, so thankfully, I did get the Griffin Omni back up on the field. Now he activates Mud Dragon to make itself immune, so we don't care much for it. He normals out a Fallen of Albaz to take away my Griffin, to which I respond with the activation of my Griffin itself to negate out the Fallen of Albaz and pop the Fallen of Albaz off of the field. He did pitch a cross out from his hand. Keep in mind, guys, this guy one off. He drew cross out. He pitched cross out for the Fallen of Albaz activation. Now this is gonna become the thing that will make my opponent lose the game, because as you guys know, the branded fusion can be Ash Blossom. Crossout was one of his means to negate out Ash Blossom. The opponent activates, the last card in his hand was branded fusion, activates it, to which I have Ash Blossom in response to, so I use it, negate it, and that just gives me a scoop. That's going to be it for today's game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank video uploads. If you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description for you guys to check out. This is JPBduel signing off for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!